I want to talk about maybe some of your Tuesday tips about being a lifelong learner. And I love a catchphrase that you have for that. So, Jamese, share your favorite catchphrase for everyone, please.
Yes, my favorite catchphrase, I'm truly living in it, I swear, is we don't know what we don't know. Um, and I think the best way of me describing this is that oftentimes, especially in my current role, I've had a manager who's had a lot of faith and trust in me, and they've really presented me with opportunities to do some really amazing things. But oftentimes, it's also been my first time navigating something, and I'm someone who doesn't like the idea of having to ask for step-by-step support, especially if it's something I've never done before. So, when I say we don't know what we don't know, for me, that's something that just drives me to say, okay, I don't know it, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to find the best practice, and I'm going to do all the scholarly research, and I'm going to find all the things that exist because I want to do this thing for the first time, and I want to do it in the best way possible. So it's really driven me. I will say my professional development has really been a big thing for the last year because of it. I genuinely want to know everything I can to really make sure I'm doing the best absolute thing that I can do in this job, really.
When do you sleep?
Ooh.
I know you to be an extremely smart and busy person, and you've also just been accepted into grad school, and you don't have to overshare, things that are too personal, or even from your professional life if you don't want to. But in being that lifelong learner and taking those Tuesday tips, if you don't know what you don't know, I think that's such an important mindset. And sometimes it's in like westernized Zen or other kinds of spiritual adaptations or self-help adaptations. It's called
Yeah.
don't know mind. And I kind of embrace that with at first a jazz improv background, then a theater and comedy improv background of just you can be proactive and give strong offers. And like you said, do your research and figure it out yourself. And yes, and asking for help when you need it is super useful and
Yeah.
and helpful. But I'm just really always amazed and impressed with how much you can fit into your day or your week in all these projects you're taking on. So do you have any kind of organizational system, or are you just kind of going with that open don't know mind, or you don't know what you don't know and figure it out as you
Yeah.
go, which can be its own fun challenge? How do you approach that?
I
Fine
mean, first of
balance.
all, I honestly, I wish I could say most of it is luck, but I think it's me just being, first of all, I don't subscribe to zodiac super hard, but I am a Taurus. We can be very stubborn, and that means a lot of the times when I commit myself to something or I say I'm gonna do this, I don't have a choice but to do it because there's a part of my brain that is like, no, we said we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, and we really stick to it. We're really hard-headed. And so for me, it's half of this is kind of going with the flow because you have to be able to pivot, you have to be able to adapt. I can say this is how my day is going to go when something comes up, there's an emergency, and I have to be prepared to respond to that in kind and prioritize where I need to. But also I have a very, very strict calendar. I time things down by the minute. I have my alarm system in my phone is quite embarrassing. It's so many, and some of those are I set an alarm to do this one thing, and I'm gonna set one for every 5 minutes after, three more times, because I really want to stick to it. Organization is really important to me, mostly because I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD, and so to think back and reflect on what school was like for me before I got that diagnosis, it's kind of I've seen the absolute worst of what it looks like when I don't do these things. And now I'm really in a space of wanting to find ways for me to navigate it. Still have my neurodivergent mind doing all the amazing things that I can do, but in a way where, I am dependable. I'm someone who will deliver when I say I'm going to deliver. So really, I think it changes, but at the core, it's organization is just important to the way my mind works.
Thank you, Jamise, for your Tuesday tips. And we hope that folks tune in and catch up with your work because it's going to be amazing in the
Thank
next little while.
you. Glad to be here.